What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Married to Medicine, season 8, episode 14, Scott's Secret. Bitch, Scott got a secret? Let me stop playing. But anyway, so we get into the episode and we see what everybody is doing, like they always do. And then we get to Quiet's place, okay? Somebody knocking, ringing at the door, and it's Anila. She got some stuff that she want to show Quiet. Now let me tell you something. Quiet would have got cussed out when I came to the door, okay? When she actually let me inside. You know that I'm coming, right? You know that I'm coming. Don't tell me to hold on for 15 goddamn minutes while you finish doing what you doing. You drop what you doing and you come and open up the door and let me stand inside in some air, okay? And then you go back and you finish what you was doing. Them vases or whatever it is that she was trying to clean off, that could have waited, but that's just me. But anyway, I was surprised. I'm just surprised at the fact that Anila and Quiet have become such good girlfriends. And I really hope it's not on one of those situations where an enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing. Because, at the beginning, Toya and Quiet did not get along. And now Anila and Toya not really getting along. And so they linking up, and it's just seeming like that type of situation. They probably genuinely like each other, but it's also every time we see them in their individual scenes together, they're talking about Toya eventually. First of all, I will say this. I get the issue. First of all, Anila trying to block some hair or whatever, give some reviews on some hair, and that's what she was really over there for. And then the conversation went on into talking about Toya and her issues. We saw Toya earlier, going over those pictures that she took at the beginning of last week's episode with Eugene and seeing where she gonna put him. Back to that, somehow the situation get reverted back to that because excuse me, because Quiet got her furniture covered up in the living room because it was some water seepage that was coming in because it had a heavy rain. And so they had to replace a door or something like that. And Anila was talking about she was having the same issue on her property that, they're building and stuff like that. And, they get into talking about how many square footage she has, 14,000 square footage, and is Toya gonna be mad at the fact that you got a little bit more square footage than her and all this stuff? And I'm just sitting here like, here we go. And I get it. I get it that y'all both have issues with her. But truth be told, and I know this is just for the show, because in all honesty, I do not feel like these ladies will actually sit up and just continue to talk about somebody that they don't give a fuck about and that you feel like wronged you. Okay? Because I'm not about to let a person that, I felt did me wrong take up so much space in my brain. I'm not about to do that. And I'm not going to use every opportunity to bring up the situation. If we can't talk it out and have that one talk or whatever, I don't need to have no other talks to you. We don't have to talk. And I don't have to talk about you with anybody else. And so they sitting there talking about Toya, and they just giving her too much. That's what I'm just saying. Because I understand what they're trying to say. Toya needs to take accountability, quit trying to make stuff as if everybody's just coming down on her and she has no part in it, and that's basically the gist of what it was talking about. She talking about this to other people and trying to make them all look like the bad person and like she's a little bit innocent, and she's not. Everybody, including Anila, including Quiet, plays a part in this whole situation drama that's with Toya. Y'all both have y'all separate issues. Both of y'all are putting stuff in. So y'all all need to sit the fuck down and have an adult conversation and listen to each other. Okay? And it's almost as if Quiet and Anila are merging both of their issues together to be one big ass issue and be against Toya. Y'all got separate issues against Toya. So, and I understand going to your girlfriend and venting or whatever, but that's exactly what it's looking like, okay? Meanwhile, we got Simone at the crib. She trying to set up a Zoom meeting with the girls so they could get this information going about this town hall that we heard them talking about last week. And, Cecil come up in there. First of all, Cecil looking kind of young. I keep on saying it's like he coming in. I don't know, for some reason on the older episodes, like the older seasons, he looked his age now, he's looking like he took at least a good 2, 3, 5 years off, a little bit, just a little bit, between 2 and 5 years off. He looked like that. I said, come on with the backpack. All right, look at the hair. You know, he look good. He look good. Simone said, listen, before you do anything else, let me just show you this. He said, do I need a drink for this? She was like, yes, ma'am. Or I should say, yes, sir, because that is her husband. You need a drink, okay? He said, girl, I felt it in my stomach when you said I need to show you something. She showed him a news report that basically about Lisa McLeod, okay? That bitch was out here holding a COVID testing, you know, preying on the goddamn poor, okay, preying on the blacks. Is Lisa black? Now, I know she got a little tint in her skin, but is she black? You know what I'm saying? She could be something else. She could be mixed with something else, whatever. I don't know what she is. Put it down in the comments. I'm genuinely asking this. Because I just, and it's black people that prey on black people too. You know, the poor and the poverty stricken and the low incomes and stuff like that. And that's exactly what this case seems like, you know, with the COVID testing, because they was trying to make it a point to get to, you know, the people that could not get to COVID testings and were being left out. And you go to these black churches and you're trying to get the word out, and that's where black folks be at most of the time, at the black church. So that means it's probably a lot of older people. They were supposed to do this little free COVID testing, and they never got their results back, and they wasn't getting no answers from the people. Okay, and Simone is like, this is gonna make us look bad. You had a whole bunch of push to try to get these tests out, and you had legitimate COVID sites and testing sites that was popping up like Dr. Damon's, and then you got Lisa Nicole, who wasn't a legitimate. Mind you, she's in fashion, so why are you doing COVID testing? Like, I don't get it. I understand, but I don't get it. We all want to help out, but it just don't, you know. And so at this point, Simone is worried about this town hall meeting. Like, we supposed to be getting these people together and wanting to work with us, and now we got her on the news flaking on people, you know, playing games with people. Andrew Young supposed to come out here and talk. Do you think he want to talk? Bitch, when Cecil said, I don't think he ever wanted to talk to you. I don't think he was coming in the first place. I said, Cecil, you ain't had to be so blunt with it, but you did. You did. And I just said, see, now Simone Sink talking about she got to tell Heavenly, because she can just brace herself and prepare, because Heavenly already said, don't do business with Lisa. Now you got to tell Heavenly, bitch. You're right. And I know I wouldn't want to tell that bitch that. I wouldn't want to give that bitch all of that, because goddamn Heavenly is Heavenly. That's it. So Heavenly is in her confessional, you know, and she gets a phone call from Simone. And you know, Simone says that you watched the video that I sent you. She looked at the video and she was like, listen, girl, I'm not gonna say nothing. Okay, I'm not gonna put myself in it or whatever. But what she does is she says, hold on, let me get Jackie on the line. Jackie, girl, did you see this news stuff about Lisa Nicole? Girl, hold on, let me get Quiet on the line. Interrupting Quiet. Mind you, Jackie just got off of work. Okay, so of course she ain't seen nothing. Quiet, she on a date, and you know, Heavenly said, I'm not finna get involved, okay? I'm just gonna let that do what it do or whatever. I'm not gonna say nothing, but you just spread the news to everybody who has not heard about the news yet, okay? And I'm just sitting here like, why am I not surprised? I knew she was gonna do this, but you know, like Quiet them said, like somebody, like sometimes, you know, shit can go wrong, whatever, but we just need to get her side of things first before we judge, which is 100% correct. I don't even like Lisa Cole, but let's get her side first, okay, and see exactly what happened, what went down, her versions of things and all that stuff. And the main reason why I guess Heavenly told Quiet is because I think they're working on stuff together. And I was like, this like working with people, you want to network and you want to be able to partner up and work with people, but you want to be able to trust that they're going to do what they're supposed to do and be on the up and up. And that's why, like, with me, when it comes to like this social media stuff, I be wanting to network. I be wanting to, you know, collaborate with some people, whatever. But then again, you know, with certain things I don't want to do, because, and that's why I feel like, you know, maybe I'm probably like a little outcast, whatever, because everybody else want to do this, do the panels and do all this other stuff. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. First of all, because I'm busy. Second of all, because I can't just jump on stuff with people and be fake with them. Like, if I don't know you, I've never looked at you, I don't have this vibe with you, I'm not going to be fake with it, okay? Just for a few views or a few little dollars, no, I just can't do that. And what if we get into, like, I seen some shit that went down on YouTube recently about stuff people come together and it's just exploding and imploding, and I be too in my head and over analyzing stuff and just thinking the negative instead of just thinking about the positive of what it can bring. But shit like this makes me worry and wary about working with certain people, you know what I'm saying? Because, girl, you got a history at this point, Lisa. This ain't the first time, okay? But man, we'll see what happened with that. Meanwhile, this Scott and Contessa stuff, baby. Contessa making food for the family, all right? Imagine Contessa probably work. Well, Contessa do work and she come home, she's still making food for the family. Girl, I don't know, not me, okay? But Scott come in as she's on the phone with her life coach, right? Now, truth be told, I feel as though she should have told Scott to leave, okay? But she told Scott to stay. They're talking about stuff that she talked to her life coach about the last time we heard them, and she was like, you said that, the things, the issues with your father is probably the reason why you don't speak up, why you don't really whine and complain and things like that. And Scott, he had asked, do you want me to leave? She said, no, you ain't gotta leave. But when that part came up, Scott looked up and said, you do? Oh, you don't? Now, see, that's some shit that I would have said. And my spouse would have told me to get out. Because either I would have said something or my face would have said it all if I didn't even say the words, okay? But at this particular point, when they get through, she was like, so you don't feel like, you feel like I whine and complain? He was like, no, not whine, but you do be complaining and shit like that. And, why would you say that? Why would you this or whatever? And he like, I asked that you want me to leave, okay? Maybe that was something that you should have said without me there, which I feel is correct because this is a moment between you and your life coach, not you and Scott at this point. You're working on you at this point. But when that whole thing got done and he sat down, she, turns around from the sink and she just, because it was an awkward silence. It was an awkward silence. And all of a sudden she was just like, so why did you get married? Okay, why did you want to get married? And he was like, because I wanted to have, a really good family and the first perfect family life and stuff like that. The typical answer. And so at this point, she's trying to get to the point, the root of what's going on, and asking these questions like, why did you marry me? What's going on? I'm trying to fix this and I just don't know what's going on. She's in the midst about to cry and everything. And you tell me this and you tell me I'm not doing it. I'm just trying to ask questions because I need to know what's going on. Are you talking to a life coach? Did you do what you said that you was going to do? He was like, yeah, I've been talking to a life coach. I mean, I have to pay her, but I've been talking to a life coach. Now, this is where shit took a turn for me, and I was sitting here like, bitch, I perked up. I'm looking like, huh? Now, see, we went through all this episode, all this season so far, and including last season, where you did not want to talk to a life coach. You didn't want to talk to therapy. You didn't want to go to couples counseling or anything like that. Simone said, I mean, not Simone, but Contessa said either last week or the week before that, she's not going to keep on badgering this couple counseling and life coaching and therapy. Okay, she going to let you figure it out and what you want to do. Okay, she not going to force it on you. And now you say out of the blue that you have been talking to somebody, a woman, okay, that's fine, and you haven't been paying this lady. And then Contessa asked, how long have you been doing this? He said for about like 6-7 months, I've been talking to her on and off or whatever, but I never had to pay her. And she was like, so where have you found this woman from? And he just simply said the internet. And I don't know, something about the vibe and the way that he was giving out the answers and stuff like that. It was like he was thinking of it. I don't know if he's lying about actually talking to somebody or just saying this just to say this for her benefit to make her feel some type of way, or if he's really talking to somebody and disguising it as a life coach and she's just really a regular woman. And I feel like if that's what it is, if he is talking to somebody, it's not a life coach. It's a regular woman, okay? That he's spilling his tea, so-called, or his marital secrets to, and it's giving very much, I can't talk to you, you giving me a headache every time I come home, and you always want to talk about this, talk about that, so I got another person that, gives me comfort and talk to me about other stuff, and I don't have to listen to you. That's what it's giving. It's giving very much I'm finna cheat vibes, okay? Because all of a sudden you talking to a life coach for 6 or 7 months, and this whole time you've been saying you didn't want to talk to a life coach or nothing like that. Nah, Scott, bro, you gotta come better than that. Just come on out with it and say what you doing for real. All right. And then Contessa just stood there crying and shit because she's like, I don't know what you want. Girl, you ain't finna make me crap in my own kitchen and I'm finna make you dinner. Bitch, fuck this dinner. Okay? No, it's not finna happen. It's not finna happen after you sit here and lie to me. I said, Scott, you's a goddamn doctor. You could come up with better lies than that. This how you be lying to your patients when stuff be going on when you be trying to soften the blow. Bitch, your poker face ain't even good. I said, Scott. No, sir. So now it is time for this town hall meeting to get out there and vote. Your vote matters. And so, Simone and Lisa Nicole, of course, we got Lisa Nicole there taking the hymns and then taking the reins of everything. And Simone brings in the presenters and, the people who's going to be talking and the different panels that they're going to have. The girls start coming in. We got the whole group, Carrie and all of them included, And so Toya was there. And Quiet, they told Quiet to be the moderator, you know what I'm saying? And so, they was like, do you need to practice or whatever? She was like, no, I don't need to practice. I've been doing this for 3 years. Okay. And here's Toya in the confessions just throwing shots and shade. And it's like, for what? For what? I could see if it was needed, but for what at this point? It's tired. Talking about well, if she knew what she was doing or whatever, maybe she would probably have a job. And, because she was on the sister circle. So, yeah, she had to interview people. So she did have practice on doing that. And I'm like, but Toya, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, like you want to throw so many shots at people, but what are you doing besides being a house mom? And there's nothing actually wrong with that, but these professional women in some form of fashion, even Quiet, like, listen, Quiet came a long way. Quiet used to sell medical equipment, and then she also wanted to have that doggy clothing line. Y'all remember that shit? I said, girl, that's what Greg got fed the fuck up at. I already knew right then and there because I was fed the fuck up with that part too. But any fucking way, it was just unneeded, okay? They listened to, and Quiet did a good job moderating the questions and, talking to the panelists and everything. And at this point, the ladies sit down and they get ready to eat after the whole event happened. And, Carrie was like to Lisa, of all people that I expected to pop it off, it was Carrie. Carrie was like, this was a good group, especially with a good thing or whatever, especially with all the stuff that you had going on. Like, are you okay? With the news and stuff. I said, let it be the white girl that bring it up, okay? Let it be her. No shade, but I'm just saying, don't let it be nobody else, because if it would have came from anybody else, it probably would have been looked at as shade as fuck. But it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Carrie, for bringing it up, because I wondered who was going to say something. Carrie said, girl, what's happening? Okay. She was like, what happened was, so we had the lab, and this was around the time where, it was a spike up in it. So it was delayed in the results because it was such a spike in the COVID cases that was happening. And then Quiet was like, first of all, Contessa was like, wait a minute. So she got a lab? I am confused as what's going on, because I thought she had a clothing line. That's what I thought she did. Baby, me too. Okay. But I think it was more so like, there are people who are, set in one particular field, but yet they invest in other type of industries and stuff like that. So I'm going to assume that's what Lisa Nicole was doing, trying to outsource her money to get, income and return on investments from other places or whatever, and not just the clothing, aspect of it. Maybe. But anyway, so Quiet asking all these questions. She was like, girl, so what happened? And then, Lisa Nicole was just like, you get one person who's complaining about something, and that's how it blows up or whatever, because of one person or whatever. Lisa Nicole made it sound like it really was nothing. No, that was a big deal. And then when Quiet said the shit happened and they got tested in July and it's just now October and they just not getting their results back, baby, that person could have had COVID and could have died. Could have died not realizing that they had it because they didn't get the test results back in time. Granted, I'm not saying that, Lisa Nicole did anything fishy. Maybe the company that she was working with did something fishy, or you never know what circumstances happen. And like you said, it was a extreme amount of people down in Atlanta. It was a lot of cases and stuff like that. So who freaking knows? Quad said, so you ain't under federal investigations or nothing like that. And she was like, no, no, it's all good. It's all good. I said, oh, it's all good now. Oh, okay, Miss Lisa. So basically, what Lisa Nicole is trying to sell to us is that she owned the lab. Her company owns the lab or whatever. And they don't own like the COVID testing stuff, and they was waiting for the COVID testing stuff to get there and to get shipped to another lab and all this stuff. So people thinking that they own all of that, and so therefore that's why they was getting pissed off and coming after them and all this shit. And I'm trying to get a girl the benefit of the doubt, but just like Simone said, I ain't gonna say the bitch is she lying or whatever, but the bitch do shady ass shit. Okay, she do some little crooked ass practicing. As she was sitting there explaining and stuff, I'm just like, girl, now, okay, I understand that we want to venture out and put our toes in this and that or whatever, but baby dad, sometimes we got to know our strengths, and this was not your strength, okay? And this ain't the first time that somebody made a complaint about you in the way that you do business, all right? So I would defer and stop doing shit like this, you know what I'm saying? Next thing, Simone, she gets she gets Jackie on the phone because Jackie is on call in labor and delivery. And, she tells the girls that they're going to go to, I forgot the name of the island, a place. They finna go on a trip, okay? And at this point, it's not going to be about healing and, have a thing to it. It's just all to have fun, okay? That's all that it is, to let their hair down and have fun. And Simone was like, see the girls, we can come together when we need to. And then here go Toya. And I'm sitting here like, come on, Toya. Come on. Toya just, I hate when people feel like they are owed so much stuff to them, and people need to respect their feelings, but yet you don't respect other people's feelings, okay? And that is what Toya does. Like, if she just owns her shit when she needs to own her shit right a fucking way, without people having to tell this and that and that and keep on telling you, and you coming back with attitude after attitude after attitude as if you didn't do anything, I will be 100% okay with Toya. And to this day, I really don't not like Toya. She cool, but she just does the most. I can't take when a person can't take responsibility for what they've done, okay? And try to place blame on other people. And so, Simone up there talking to Anila, oh, you need to see where Toya coming from, and if you have an issue. Anila is like, I've been trying to talk to the girl. She has not been responding to me. I've been sending her texts. I've been calling all this stuff. She has not been responding to me. So she goes out there trying to talk to Simone one-on-one, and here comes Toya carrying everybody in the midst of their conversation. And here go Toya all of a sudden. So you want to talk? And Anila said it right. Yes, I want to talk, but just me and you. And what you want me to talk about? You want to talk about you took this over there to Carrie, and you talking to everybody else about me and all this stuff, and woo woo woo, and I done came to your house and we did this. What you want me to say and all this shit? She was like, has I ever talked about you? Anila is getting pissed off, and I truly understand why she's getting pissed off, even though she was being dramatic as fuck, okay? But I understand why she's getting pissed off. A person like Toya would have pissed me off too, okay? And like they said, and Anila said in her confessions, she's gaslighting. She knows exactly what she's doing, okay? And for that reason, I can respect Toya, because, bitch, that's some manipulating ass shit. And that's how I get down a little bit. Don't judge me, because I will make you feel as though you're the problem, even though it's me. I told you I could be a little toxic, okay? I told y'all that. In certain aspects of work, especially if I'm damn near done with you, oh yeah, I will fuck your mind up, okay? I will drive you fucking crazy, and then I'll let you go. I'm not proud of it, but that's just what I do. Anyway, so moving on from that, Anila is like, I never said anything about you. Even when I spoke to Carrie, I never talked bad about you. I don't talk bad about you to anybody else. But yet, Toy, you go around and you talk bad about me not paying my finances, not doing this and all this stuff, and calling me ditzy and shit like that, which was true. That's what she was referring to, And at this point, Anila stumps out, and then Simone brings Quad in it, and she was like, just tell Quad that you're sorry, and just let her know that when she talks about your finances and stuff like that, that hurts your feelings because you don't want to open up and be vulnerable and let these girls know that you be hurting and all this stuff. And then Quiet's sitting there like Nene saying, now how did I get into this? Why am I in this? Okay. And so Quiet goes back on to, if you I've been there when you was crying. I've been there when things was going on and I was there to wipe your tears. Oh, we're not going to talk about the past and all this stuff. She was like, but bitch girl, you was talking about my house calling it an apartment. Okay, I didn't mean to call it an apartment. It's a townhouse. It's a townhouse. Even though she called it an apartment 2 other times after she told her not to call it an apartment because it is a townhouse. Okay? And I'm just sitting here like, this is stupid. And at one point, Toya did say she apologized for something. And Simone was like, well, that's a baby step. And I'm just sitting here like, y'all just need to get the fuck over it, okay? Get over it. So, Anila had went over there to Dr. Jackie house, to basically tell her what happened between her and Toya at the event. And, Jackie was giving her some advice. And, she was just saying she hasn't seen Toya this, in this state in a long, long time. She's never really seen her like this. And, how to deal with it. And if you the way that you can deal with it is just sit down and actually have a mature ass conversation and listen to each other. What I've been saying, okay? And if it don't work, and if you not ready to put in the work, she's not ready to put in work, maybe y'all don't need to be in this friendship. And you know how friendships come and go. Like, everybody's not meant to be in your life for ever. Sometimes it's just for a season, for a reason, and all that stuff. And I was like, that is so true. And she started telling her beauty line or whatever for black people, or I should say, melanated people. So that was cool. Next thing she was calling Simone to see what she'll wear for what to bring for the trip that they're about to go on. And, everybody started pulling up at Dr. Jackie's medical practice. And, they was supposed to go pick up Dr. Heavenly and Contessa. And here comes, Lisa Nicole with the bus, the RV. And I guess she gonna be driving. I don't know if she really gonna be driving, but hey, they a little concerned. And they're about to get ready to go on this trip. So, basically, Lisa was just joking, okay? Lisa had a driver. They get on the bus. The RV, it looked nice from my perspective, okay? And I'm only saying that because Heavenly had a problem with it, bitch. Heavenly, shut up. Anyway, so they had to go down there and get Heavenly and Contessa from Heavenly's place or whatever. Anila's gonna meet them at the, where they supposed to be vacationing at. And at this point, they having a good time. And like I said, Heavenly up there looking like, talking about some, this an old ass RV. Bitch, the shit look fine to me, okay? Then none look raggedy on the bitch. And, it look clean. So, it's good for me, all right? Next thing, they was getting their drinks and stuff, and everybody was having a good time. They asked him, what is your biggest fears and stuff like that. Carrie making a joke about, dying in an RV or crashing in an RV or whatever. And then Lisa Nicole says, her biggest fear is not trusting people or people not trusting her. Something like, not being able to trust people and stuff like that or whatever. And at this particular point, this is where Heavenly chimes in, and it was fine. She was just giving her opinion, giving some advice or whatever, like what she probably think it is, and it was respectful. She was like, it's probably because, of the way that you do business, and this is how she's saying it. It's probably the way that you do business. They're not hollering at each other, and it seemed like they was going to have a real decent conversation, a real back and forth. I hear what you're saying, but I'm talking about on a personal level. And then, Heavenly was like, but no, business as well, because you don't show transparency. Like when you start talking about the COVID, and as soon as that happened, that's when shit just got up in there. I said I knew it was a matter of time that Heavenly was gonna bring it up. She couldn't hold it in no more. Heavenly set that shit off and said, bitch, about the fucking COVID shit. Okay, how are you basically a third party. You can't be setting up no lab and you ain't got the shit, okay? And you getting the stuff from this person and all this stuff. So they going back and forth. I do got it. Okay, what you gonna say? No, bitch, you can't do this, like you can't do that. I don't know if Heavenly said something out of line to Lisa Nicole, but all of a sudden, Lisa Nicole got the fuck up and called Heavenly a dumb bitch. Okay? Now, if Heavenly said something that warranted for her to call her out her name, let me know in the comments, because I rewind and I just could not catch it. Maybe it was me, maybe it was my ears, and I just wasn't looking or listening right. But baby, I had subtitles on, and them other subtitles popped up when Lisa Nicole called Heavenly a dumb bitch. And that's when Heavenly said, said, "Yo mama a dumb bitch." Okay, I said, "Damn, Heavenly, I thought we was done with the yo mama shit." But at this particular part, I really wasn't. I wasn't mad at it, cause bitch, you ain't gonna call me no dumb bitch for what? Because you the one that got caught up in some bullshit. Now Heavenly was being, you know, she kept it cool for this whole time because I thought it was gonna come earlier. I said I ain't know it was gonna come this part of the trip, bitch. You know, so I wish it would have came earlier so we can get all these issues out. Next thing you know, they going back and forth. Get this bitch up off my bus and all this shit and woo woo woo. And I'm just like, Lisa, you was wrong, okay? Heavenly, you was wrong for, you know, getting on attack mode or making it sound like it was attack a little bit because you did, you know, with the COVID testing or whatever. But then again, Lisa Nicole, you're wrong about what you did with the COVID shit. And Heavenly was looking for a moment. She was looking for a moment to go off on that bitch about the COVID shit. So it was a mess. I still don't like Lisa Nicole. I don't give a fuck. But it is what it is. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode. I would have been quiet. Quiet was standing there that whole time laughing. Like she was trying not to bust out laugh, but she had that look on her face like she was trying to hold that bitch in but laughing at the same time. That would have been me, because this was stupid. Anyway, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'm about to go watch Pose. It's 2 hours long, so don't look for a review right away, bitch. Let me go put these clothes in the dryer first. Gotta get my nerves together. I'll see y'all later. Peace.